कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome everyone for our special session for 1-Srimad Bhagavatam Canto1 Complete Overview. I am so glad, I was so happy that we all have been able to successfully complete Canto1 line by line, verses, text by text, Sanskrit, sloka recitation, Srila Prabhupada's purports, getting the messages, practical application, translation of every sloka. I am so happy. And even today, while we are all here together, we see in Kali Yuga, people are generally not interested in spiritual scriptures, shastras, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. But here we see everyone so enthusiastically have assembled here. We could have been doing anything else. Sunday, doing some home work or going out, shopping, classes to kids. So many responsibilities we have as a family person. But we have all assembled here. It makes me doubt, are we really in Kali Yuga or this is Satya Yuga happening? And all the sages have assembled here in the forest of Naimisaranya. Thank you so much for coming. First of all, before a movie starts, a disclaimer comes. You all from your side sitting there might be looking or thinking that here it is, Kaushalyanand Das speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam today, and especially Shiva Prabhu, and arranged all this grand chair and flowers and decoration. Feels like Vyasa Puja celebration. But let me make it very clear with the disclaimer. From your side, you might be seeing me, I am sitting here, but from my side, what I see and what's in my heart, I am a spirit soul. And what is the size of the soul? 1/10,000th tip of a hair. Do you want to try? Look at the hair of a person sitting in front of you or side of you. Look at the tip. Divide by 100. Another division by another 100. 1/10,000th tip of a hair. And that is the size of a soul. And I am a spirit soul here, sitting here. And what are we doing here? Trying to glorify Lord Shri Krishna. Glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. And who is Lord? The one who is lying. From his skin pores, universes comes out. Not planets, not solar systems, not galaxies. From his skin pores, multiple universes comes out. And he is like, how great the Lord is. How big Lord is. And how insignificant Jiva is. 1/10,000th tip of a hair. Do we all think that a Jiva can glorify Lord? But we have been given instructions as a practitioner of Bhakti Yoga. We have been taught Yukta Vairagya, using everything in the service of Krishna. Whatever we have, here we have a beautiful home of Shiva Prabhu, Sharda Mataji, mother is also here. But we are utilizing in the service of Krishna. We have our car, we have our finances, we utilize in the service of Krishna, worshipping the Archa Vigraha, deity form in the temple. Here we have TV, we are utilizing for spreading Srimad Bhagavatam glories. In the same way, as a tiny, insignificant 1/10,000th tip of a hair, that Jiva is trying to utilize this body, the senses, the speech, the eyes, whatever I have, trying to utilize in the service of Krishna. And as we know, Srimad Bhagavatam is a book, literally, book incarnation of Krishna. So, when we study Srimad Bhagavatam, when we speak Srimad Bhagavatam, when we glorify about Bhagavatam, we are approaching Lord Shri Krishna or Srimad Bhagavatam in a serving attitude. We are not reading scriptures. We are not speaking about Bhagavatam, we are serving Bhagavatam. We are not reading, we are serving Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's the mood we will dive into Srimad Bhagavatam. Before we begin, invocation prayers, there are 3 mantras. We chant, generally all Bhagavatam speakers. So I can recite Sanskrit, we can all repeat after me. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaya mudirayet. Shiva Prabhu, you want to recite the translation loudly?
Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
Thank you. Next sloka, Canto 1, Chapter 2, text number 18. Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki.
By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by renderings of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Radhika Mataji.
Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and the other cowherd men of Vrindavana, and the inlevener of the cows and the senses.
Thank you so much. So with these prayers in mind, invoking auspiciousness, let's begin our journey into Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1. My humble attempt today would be to complete in 2 sessions, 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours. We have 2 sessions to complete all 19 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1. In this particular style of study, what we will do, we will try to do an overview, the flow of Srimad Bhagavatam, how different chapters connect, how different pastimes are linked from one after another. Questions, if you have, most of you have the pen and diary, please write it down. At the end of the session, we will do the questions. If we start doing in the middle, we may not be able to complete the full overview. So I will be here after the session and I will not go back until I answer all of your questions. So please write it down, we can do it at the end. Just maintain the flow of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many different ways we can study Srimad Bhagavatam. First, we know how regularly Srila Prabhupada have established in the temple 1 sloka, 1 hour every day morning. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. In all ISKCON temples all around the world, 1 sloka is discussed 1 hour. We see in many different pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed 1 sloka for 61 different times. Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he picked 1 verse and discussed for the whole Kartik month, 30 days, 1 verse only. What we do in morning, our everyday Srimad Bhagavatam sessions, we try to do 5 or 6 verses in about 40 minutes. So about 5 to 10 minutes per verse we try to do. So there are different ways we study Srimad Bhagavatam and all of them have their own significance. What we are trying to do here is the full overview of first canto, just to understand the link and the connection between the chapter. Personally, it helps me to understand the flow, what is coming next, get that curiosity, inquisitiveness. अभी क्या होगा, आगे क्या होगा, अभी आगे कौन सा पास टाइम आएगा, कैसे रिस्पॉन्स करेंगे सुता गोस्वामी, how he will answer when Saunaka Rishi is asking the question. Now, it helps me personally that when there is a flow, then it helps to maintain the connection, and casual reading, kabhi kuch sun liya, kabhi kuch pad liya, that casual reading turns into the transformation of the heart when we do this, systematic flow of Srimad Bhagavatam. As we discussed before, that Srila Prabhupada has invested so much of time and energy in the first canto. Remember, I shared the video in the group. Radhanath Maharaj was saying, everything what Srila Prabhupada had to say, everything Prabhupada has put in the first canto. If you carefully observe, all the purports of the first canto, they are very long, very elaborate description Srila Prabhupada is giving. Compared to if you see 6th canto, 8th canto, 9th canto, some of the verses don't even have the purports, only translation. And even if they are very short, in 8th, 9th canto, if you see very short, but canto number 1, Prabhupada has put so much. Everything, whatever he wanted to say, it's in first canto. And that's why, we'll try to cover most of the events which are mentioned in the first canto, as well as along with the Sanskrit translation, we'll try to do the purports, the learning points and practical applications. Hope you have all done the homework. 1.1 learning point practical application per one chapter. How we will do is, we'll try to do one chapter. At the end of the chapter, I will request one person to say only 1 point. Next, first we'll start with Mataji. Chapter 1, one Mataji will say 1 point. You can raise hand or I can point. Second chapter, 1 point by Prabhuji. Third chapter, in that way we'll, just in the interest of time. I'm sure we would have discussed more than 50 learning practical points in every chapter, right? But with the interest of time, we will do one chapter or one practical application for one chapter. Is that okay? Let's begin with Canto 1, Chapter 1, text number 1. Starts with, I'll recite Sanskrit. First, second and third are invocation prayers. It creates auspiciousness, invokes auspiciousness. It's an invocation prayer. So we'll recite that, and after that we'll only do the key memory verses. Some of you please came, or if one of you can take care of time and remind me, at 12:30. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadiyasya yato anvayaditaras charthesva abhigna swarat. Tene brahma hridayadi kavaye muhyanti yat suraya. Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha. Dhamna svena sada nirastakuhukam satyam param dhimahi. Very beautiful sloka, very long translation as well. In our studies, we saw that big sloka, complicated Sanskrit and a big translation as well. But in short, for our understanding, if we remember, this first sloka establishes Lord Shri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. And it glorifies the absolute truth, glorifies Lord Shri Krishna. How? Lord Shri Krishna here is established as the Supreme Creator, as all-knowing, and he is supremely independent. This sloka mentions about the qualities of Lord Shri Krishna. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye. That means he is the one who gave knowledge to Lord Brahma as well. So for our easy understanding, and that is my style of, as you would have seen in last 6 months, how can we easily understand what is mentioned here? Yes, Sanskrit is there, big English translation is there. But what is this verse saying? Establishing Lord Shri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and glorifies Lord Shri Krishna, glorifies absolute truth. He is supremely independent, he is the Supreme Creator, he is all-knowing, and he is the one who gave knowledge to Lord Shri Brahma. Easy to remember? Let's move on to the next one. Number 2. Dharma projita kaitotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayo moolanam श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनि कृते किं वा परेरीश्वरा सद्योरिति अवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रुभिः तत्क्षणात्. What is verse number 2 saying? This glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. First one, glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. Second one, glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma projita kaitavo. Projita. Jita means to reject. Projita, completely reject. Dharma. What type of dharma? Dharma which is materially motivated. The dharma which is materially motivated, that is completely rejected from this. Dharma projita kaitavo traparamo nirmatsaranam satam. Nirmatsaranam means it is to be understood by non-envious people. Tapatrayo moolanam. It will uproot the threefold miseries from people's life. Is there anyone here who wants to uproot the miseries from life? Huh? Make sure you raise hand. Krishna is watching. Is there anyone who wants to uproot the miseries from the life? Huh? You just got married. You are allowed to not raise hand. Tapatrayo moolanam. This Srimad Bhagavatam will uproot the miseries from our life. And first was glories of Lord Shri Krishna. Second one, glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the third verse saying? It is inviting everyone, oh expert man, oh learned one, come and relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpataro galitam phalam sukha mukhadamrita dravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Pankaj Prabhu, you want to read translation of this beautiful verse? Loudly.
Translation, Kripapa Teacher. O expert and thoughtful man, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literature. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although it is nectarian juice, was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
Thank you. So this third verse is inviting everyone to come and relish the nectarian fruit, Srimad Bhagavatam. So the first verse, what is it doing? What is mentioned? Glories of Lord Shri Krishna. Second one? Glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Third one? Invitation to everyone to come and relish the Srimad Bhagavatam. Very easy? Yes? Now the rest of the first chapter is, as you can see, the sages sitting. The rest of the first chapter is setting the scene. In what particular situation was this discussion happened? We know that one day the sages all assembled in the forest of Naimisaranya. All the sages, be very careful. We are sitting among the sages of Naimisaranya here. They all assembled one day after finishing their morning duties, and they assemble to do 1,000-year-old sacrifice. Why the sages assembled? The sages assembled for the welfare of the whole human society. And they gave a respectable seat to Suta Goswami and making inquiries. The sages of Naimisaranya, they all assembled for the welfare of whole human society, and they observed the influence of Kali Yuga. They can see the Kali Yuga is progressing, and for the welfare of everyone, they are giving a respectable seat to Suta Goswami and making an inquiry, because they can foresee. They can foresee that Kali Yuga is progressing. Can we also see Kali Yuga is progressing? Do we see the symptoms of Kali Yuga? Yes. In our dealings every day with the people all around the society, we see how Kali Yuga is progressing so fast. Even if we compare our own life 20-30 years back, we can see that how the world has changed. And the sages in the forest of Naimisaranya, they can see that Kali Yuga is progressing. And then how to get the benefit of all the human civilization. So for that, in that mood, for the benefit and welfare of everyone, they make an inquiry to Sutta Goswami. Before making their inquiry, they are showing that eagerness to hear, and they ask 6 questions. We discussed that very elaborately. We have recapped more than 100 times in our sessions that the sages ask 6 questions to Sutta Goswami. The first question the sages ask to Sutta Goswami is, what is the ultimate good for all people in general? Kali Yuga influence is spreading, and they are concerned about the welfare of everyone. So they are asking the Sutta Goswami, who is the learned amongst all, that what is the ultimate good? Sabse best. What is the ultimate good for all people in general? And they know that Kali Yuga, Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Yipatrita, people will not have much intelligence. They will be distracted all the time, and they will be misfortunated. So, what to do? If they don't have enough intelligence to study all the scriptures, all the sastras, and that's why the sages are asking to Sutta Goswami. What? Second question. What is the essence of all scriptures? The first question is, everyone? What is the ultimate good for all people in general? Second question is, what is the essence of all scriptures? The third question they ask is, why did Lord appear in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva? Why did Lord Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Why did he need to come to this material world, appear from the womb of Devaki? What is the necessity? The fourth question the sages ask is, describe Lord's Purusha Avtaras. Fifth question, describe Lord's Leela Avtaras. Purusha Avtaras in connection with the creation of this material world. Leela Avtaras, the pastimes which Lord Shri Krishna performs here in this world after the creation is done. And the last question the sages ask is, where did Dharma took shelter after Lord Shri Krishna departed from this planet? And that is the whole essence of chapter number 1. Setting the scene, the sages sitting in the forest of Naimisaranya, Sutta Goswami has been given a respectable seat, and then they are making the inquiries. Very easy, very practically easy to understand. Yes? कौन कहता है Bhagavatam is so difficult to understand? Huh? There are many learning points from this chapter number 1 we saw. Alright, we'll start with Mataji. Any one learning point someone wants to raise that? Okay, Sonal Mataji.
Human life is meant for spiritual inquiry. Hearing about Krishna is the top mood dharma.
Human life is meant for spiritual inquiry. There are many questions people can ask. मार्केट में एक नया क्या चल रहा है, इंटरेस्टेड क्या हो रहा है, न्यूज में क्या हो रहा है. Srila Prabhupada said, when even the birds are chirping, they are also asking a question to other birds. Where do I get my food from? Where do I do my sense gratification? Where do I get the opposite sex partner and I can enjoy? The birds, when they are chirping, they are also making the inquiry. But the first and very important point we learn from this chapter is, human life is meant for spiritual inquiry. Everyone agrees? We have more than 50 learning points, but with the interest of time, we have to skip. Maybe some other time we can do this exercise where we can learn more learning points. I have also wrote few learning points, but one learning point what I would really like to mention is the sages gave respected seat to Sutta Goswami. From that we learn that how to give respect to the one who is learned, scholars, senior devotees, Vaishnava Acharyas, Guru, in the temple, Brahmacharis, Maharaj, whoever comes, whoever we see, we should learn from this to give them utmost respect. Okay, everyone okay? Chapter number 1. Let's begin with the chapter number 2. What happened in chapter number 1? The sages asked the questions to Sutta Goswami. What will happen in chapter number 2? Who can guess? When sages ask to Sudha Goswami will give answers here. But before giving the answer, who remembers what happened? Before giving the answers, Sudha Goswami is thanking them, thanking for asking the perfect questions, not mundane prajalpa questions, asking the perfect questions. He becomes satisfied. Thanks for asking perfect questions. Then he offers obeisances. सीधा जवाब देना शुरू नहीं कर दिया. जैसे ही क्वेश्चन पूछा एकदम से बोलना शुरू नहीं किया. He thanks them, glorifies them, and he offers his obeisances. We saw that how he offers his obeisances to his Guru, Sukdev Goswami as well, Nar Narayan Rishi, Mother Saraswati, Vyasdev. He answers, he offers obeisances, and then from 6th verse he starts giving the answers. What was the first question? What is the ultimate good for all people in general? So the answer to that is the 6th verse. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradoksaje ahaituki apratihata yayatmasu prasidati. The supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which man can attain loving devotional service. What is the ultimate good for everyone? For all the people in general is the devotional service. The supreme occupation is that by which one can attain the loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service. What type of devotional service is this saying? Must be unmotivated, uninterrupted. That is what the answer is given by Sudha Goswami to the sages. The second question was, what is the essence of all scriptures? The answer to that is given in the 7th verse. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayadaitukam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So what is the essence of all the scriptures? Is rendering loving devotional service unto the personality of God. What is the ultimate good for everyone? Bhakti karna padega. Bhakti karna sabko, compulsory, and that is the ultimate good for everyone. What is the essence of all scriptures? One has to do devotional service. And that is the two questions. Jo sages in Naimisaranya, they asked to Sudha Goswami 2 questions. He answered already straight away in the beginning. After glorifying, thanking them, he answered the 2 questions. What will happen next? Who can guess? What was the third question? Why did Lord Shri Krishna appear in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva? Then Sudha Goswami answers that Krishna appears from the womb of Devaki. Why? To reclaim the pure souls. To reclaim the lost souls from the spiritual world, Jiva. They have been entangled in this material world. To reclaim them and to call them back to the spiritual world, Krishna appears in the womb of Devaki to attract them. Lord is more eager to have us back in spiritual world than we are eager to go back to the spiritual world. Remember, ऐसा कुछ discussion किया था? हाँ? Or is it something new? This is the answer given by Sudha Goswami to the sages of Naimisaranya for the third question. Why did Krishna appear? उनको यहाँ पे आने की क्या जरूरत थी? So sages, Sudha Goswami is telling to the sages that to reclaim the lost souls, to attract them. Lord comes, perform the pastimes. The devotees, they get attracted. वो उनका संकीर्तन, they can glorify those pastimes. They get attracted and they can go back to the spiritual world. Are you all with me? Yes. Clear so far? What is the flow happening? Thank you. Question number 4. Describe Lord's Purusha Avtaras. Lord Krishna's incarnation in relation to this material creation. Describe Lord's Purusha Avtaras. So we saw at the later part, towards the end of the second chapter, that Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, that how Lord lies Mahavishnu in the causal ocean, from his skin pores, the universe comes out. Then when he is lying as a Garbhodakshay, the lotus stem emanates from his navel. From them the lotus comes and Brahmaji appears. And then Shirodakshay Vishnu, how Lord is in everyone's hearts. We have discussed this, how the Lord's incarnation in relation to the creation of this material world. Shirodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Karnodakshay Vishnu. Okay, that's where chapter number 2 ends. Okay, Prabhuji's turn. Learning point from chapter 2. Harshit Prabhu. Wow, husband and wife pakka preparation karke aaye hain. Good. Big clap for a divine couple. Thank you. Yes.
Any work that we do in our life is useless if we don't develop the attraction for God's message that is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam.
जोर से बोलो ना. Can the kids too? Maybe either go in the front or something.
Any work that we do is useless if we don't develop the attraction to God's message.
Yes, anything what we do, whatever action we are performing, either it's a devotional service or our regular home responsibility, that can be done for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna, so that we can increase, we can develop attraction to Lord Shri Krishna. In this chapter number 2 also that verse comes, Nasta Prayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. That also comes, Nasta Prayashu Bhadresu. All the Abhadresu. What is the English translation? All the inauspiciousness, all the misgivings, all the problems, troubles of the heart, everything is Nasta Prayashu Bhadreshu. All that is removed from the heart of the devotee. Those who regularly Nasta Prayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, by regular attendance in the Srimad Bhagavatam sessions. In this one, it is also mentioned by Sutta Goswami that bhakti is to be done to Lord Shri Krishna only. Bhakti cannot be done to demigods. देवी देवता को पूजा कर सकते हैं, worship कर सकते हैं, लेकिन pure devotional service bhakti नहीं कर सकते. Why? Because generally, when people are worshipping demigods, Devi Devta, there is always that mood of having something in return. हम आपको ये करेंगे, आप हमको ये देंगे. सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, या फिर सब दुख दूर करें. All those prayers are there so that we want something in return. But pure loving devotional service where the mood is only for the pleasure of the Lord and nothing else. Remember we discussed, Krishna had a headache and the gopis were asked, can we have some dust from the feet? And they said, yes, take it. Not even little bit, take full bucket load, take it. And he said that, do you know what you are doing? Your dust will go on Krishna's head, you will suffering in hell. And the gopis said, that suffering is our biggest pleasure. If this removes Krishna's headache, this suffering is our biggest pleasure. And this pure loving devotional service can only be done towards Lord Shri Krishna, not to anyone else. So this chapter mentions that how bhakti is done to Lord Shri Krishna only. And then ends with this fourth question that Lord's Purusha avatars. And then we saw the learning point. Thank you so much. I am rushing it, please forgive me. I am rushing it because it's a big agenda to complete all the chapters. But ठीक है ना अभी तक. First 3 verses, first one, glorification of Lord Shri Krishna. Second one, glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. Third one, inviting everyone, relishing. The rest of the chapter is, sages are asking 6 questions to Sutta Goswami. That's where chapter number 1 ends. Chapter number 2 begins with Sutta Goswami thanking them and glorifying for asking the perfect questions. Then he answers the first question, what is the ultimate good for everyone? Which is bhakti, the devotional service. What is the essence of all scriptures? One must do devotional service. Then, why did Krishna appear as the son of Devaki in her womb? What is the reason given? To reclaim the lost souls. And the sages asked, describe Lord's incarnation, Purusha Avtaras in connection with the material world. Then he mentions about Karanodakshai Vishnu, Shirodakshai Vishnu and Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Chapter number 2 ends there. Easy to remember? Huh? Chapter number 3. The title is Krishna is the source of all incarnations. In chapter number 3, the question asked, describe what was 1, 2, 3, 4 we done. What was the fifth question? Describe Lord's Leela Avtaras. The sages asked, and that's why Sutta Goswami is answering. How he is answering? By describing all the 21 different incarnations. We saw that how Sutta Goswami mentions about 4 Kumaras, Vara Avatar, Narad Muni, Lord Kapila Avatar, Dattatreya, Yajna, King Rishabdev, Prithu Maharaj, Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, Dhanvantari Avatar, Mohini Murti, Narsimhadev, Vamana, Parshuram, Vyasdev, Lord Rama, Balram, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki, which is about to come. And we took almost one session for one of this. Every single Avtara, the whole past time we discussed. And that's why we were supposed to complete first canto in 4 months. We completed in 6 months. Because this, each and every Avtara, the pastimes are so sweet. I just couldn't skip. And we have a recording for those who have missed and join later. Every single Avtara, we dedicated full sessions and learning points as well from them. Beautiful. All the 21 different incarnations are mentioned. What did we learn into this? That after mentioning all this, these are not all in all. These are not all the incarnations. Lord Krishna's incarnations appearance has no limit. It is said just like there are waves in the oceans. They keep on coming. There is no end to it. In that way, there are innumerable incarnations of Lord Krishna. There is no limit to it. But because Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days, he was fasting till death. With the interest of time, Sukdev Goswami mentioned only few of them to Parikshit Maharaj. And the same, what Sutta Goswami heard when Sukdev Goswami was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Only 21 avtaras are described. But after all these incarnations are described, Paribhasya Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam comes. What is that? Canto number 1, chapter 3, text 28. Who knows this sloka? Sneha Mataji, you want to recite this sloka loudly? We'll all repeat. Ete chamsa kala pumsa.
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam.
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam.
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam.
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam.
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge.
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. All these different incarnations are mentioned. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narada, Nardara and Rishi, Dhanvantari Avatar, all this. But what is Sutta Goswami mentioned here? Ete chamsa kala pumsa. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. You know, Lord Sri Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary, complete portions, or the portions of the complete portion. But Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Original Personality of Godhead. So this is called the Paribhasya Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam, which establishes again that Lord Sri Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. ठीक है, कितने क्वेश्चंस आंसर कर दिए सेजेस ने? 5 questions answered. What is the ultimate good for everyone? What is the essence of all scriptures? Why did Lord appear in the womb of Devaki? Describe Lord's Purusha Avtaras. Describe Lord Leela Avtaras. बता दिए सारे Leela Avtaras. Last question, what the sages asked due to Sutta Goswami for the welfare of whole society, whole human civilization, for everyone, for the people of Kali Yuga, those who are Manda Sumanda Mata. What was the last question? Where did Dharma took the shelter? After Lord Krishna's departure. That was the last question. So that one, towards the end of the 3rd chapter of this Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sudha Goswami is answering that question directly. And Devin Prabhu, going to recite Sanskrit.
कृष्णे स्वधाम उपगते
Krishna Swadhamapagate
धर्म ज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नष्टदृशम् एष पुराणकोऽधुनोदितः
Very good. Thank you so much. So, where did Dharma took shelter after Lord Shri Krishna departed from this planet? The answer is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Dharma took the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam after Lord Shri Krishna Swadhamopagate. When Krishna left to his own abode, Dharma Gnana Devi, where did Dharma took the shelter? In Srimad Bhagavatam. Here, in the end of this chapter, Sukdev Goswami mentions that this Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, and Dharma took the center in that Srimad Bhagavatam at the end of at the beginning of the Kali Yuga, at the end of the previous Yuga when Lord Shri Krishna departed from this world. Okay, answer of the 6 questions to sages. Mil gaya, all 6 answers straight away. The last question, where did Dharma took shelter? Answer is Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's where chapter number 3 ends. Alright, Mataji's turn. Learning point. Yes, Mataji, Aruna Mataji.
Prabhuji, in this chapter it is established that different avatars mentioned are just to confirm that Lord Shri Krishna's supremacy on everyone and he is original. And we should dovetail our devotional service to Lord Shri Krishna. Then only we can get away from all the material miseries.
Excellent. Big clap. Very good. Lord Shri Krishna is supreme, original, and one must surrender to only that Lord Shri Krishna. Supreme. So if someone wants something topmost, supreme, then we go to Lord Shri Krishna. Okay. Right. What chapter we are in? Chapter 4 starts. So abhi to 6 questions sages asked. Sudha Goswami responded 6 questions. Finish. Assembly finish. Prasadam time. No. What happens in chapter number 4? Sare answers to mil gaye na? And but the last question was where did Dharma took the shelter? And the answer for that was Srimad Bhagavatam. So Saunaka Rishi, very eager to learn more, to know more. He is asking further questions. Before he asks questions, Sanaka Rishi, who is the head of all the sages, he glorifies the answers what Sutta Goswami has given, and he glorifies Sutta Goswami as well. And then he asks further questions, or he's making further inquiry. What he is asking? अभी आपने श्रीमद् भागवतम के बारे में बताया. श्रीमद् भागवतम is the one where Dharma took the shelter after Lord Shri Krishna departed. But how did फिर then he is mentioning that what place was this begun? How did Vyasdev got the inspiration to compile this literature? He is asking. Sukdev Goswami, he mentioned, remember Sutta Goswami, that it was given by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So the sages are asking, Saunaka Rishi is asking that Sukdev Goswami was wandering around naked, young boy, like a dumb man. Then how did Parikshit Maharaj, who is the king of the whole world, how did Parikshit Maharaj met him and heard Srimad Bhagavatam from him? ऐसा कैसे हुआ? I want to know more. That Sukdev Goswami was a dumb, wandering around naked. But Parikshit Maharaj, who is the king of the whole world, he sat down and listened Srimad Bhagavatam from this 16-year-old boy. Are we also eager to know more? How is it possible? ऐसा क्या हुआ? What place was this begun? How did Vyasdev got the inspiration? And then the third question they ask is, describe Parikshit Maharaj's birth and activities. Parikshit Maharaj, he was the king of the world. Describe his birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj. And then he was a king. He was already self-realized. He was already a devotee. What was the necessity for Parikshit Maharaj to give up everything? As a devotee, we know that as a Grihastha, for example, we raise our family in Krishna consciousness. We make our house as our temple. We have our car we utilize to go to the temple. We have our finances we utilize in the service of Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj was a devotee. He was king of the whole world. He could have utilized everything in the service of the Lord. What was the necessity for Parikshit Maharaj to give up everything? Good question.
Yes.
Huh? The sages are asking, saying further questions. It's showing the eagerness of them. So half of the chapter number 4 describes the questions asked by Sanaka Rishi. All these questions. Kahan pe bola gaya tha? How did Vyasdev got the inspiration? Sukdev Goswami was wandering around naked. How did he met Parikshit Maharaj? And how did Parikshit Maharaj heard Srimad Bhagavatam from him? And describe Parikshit Maharaj's birth and activities. Okay. See, now you see the question asked to Sutta Goswami was describe birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj. And which chapter the title is Parikshit Maharaj? Does anyone know? Huh? 8 is the son of 7 is the son of Drona Parish. 8 is Kunti Maharani prayers. And Uttara, whom the Parikshit is saved.
12 is birth of Parikshit.
Chapter number 12 is birth of Parikshit Maharaj. 4th chapter में last में जो question किया था 12th chapter में the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. So as the authorized speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, we are allowed to sidetrack. हमारे भक्ति वृक्षा में भी कई बार I am mentioning some point and we go into some pastime and then we forget that हमने ये कथा शुरू क्यों किया था? What was the original point? We got sidetracked. But here we see 4th chapter से फिर so many Bhishma Dev lying on the battlefield, Uttara came running, Queen Kunti's prayers, all that is coming, and then he comes back again to the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. अरे हाँ, वो question ही पूछा था. Let me answer that. So that comes. So the speaker of doing Krishna Katha is allowed to sidetrack for some time. But it's a duty of audience to bring him back again. So half of this chapter number 4 is mentioning about the questions by the sages to Sutta Goswami. The questions which we saw here. Describe further about Srimad Bhagavatam. And the later half of this chapter is describe the first question. How, what place did this begin? How did Vyasdev got inspiration? Remember the question here? How did Vyasdev got the inspiration? So Sutta Goswami is starting with a response to that. That one day Vyasdev took bath in the river Saraswati and sat for meditation. Vyasdev is sitting for meditation. Just imagine, Vyasdev sitting on the bank of the river Saraswati, took bath in the morning and he's sitting on the meditation. He saw the influence of Kali Yuga again. He also see the people have become less tolerant. The lack of mode of goodness, the quality of goodness was not common in the people in general. And he observed everything. We, in our day and age, we can easily observe the influence of Kali Yuga. The sages, they can see, they have the divine vision. They can see the influence of Kali Yuga are progressing very, very fast. He saw that and he knew the importance of Vedas. So he divided. But people are, in the Kali Yuga, they will not have that intelligence. So originally Vedas was 1. He divided Vedas into 4. That is what is mentioning by Sutta Goswami. Then one day when Vyasdev took bath in the river at the bank of the river Saraswati and sat for meditation, and then he describes the pastime of Vyasdev. He saw the influence of Kali Yuga, he knew the importance of Vedas, so he divided Vedas into 4 Vedas. Then what did he do? Not stop there. He trained his disciples. He gave very detailed description comes. What are the names of these 4 Vedas? Which disciple or which teacher, professor is going to teach what particular type of Vedas. It is all mentioned in this chapter number 4 towards the other half. And then he trained his disciples and made them to teach all the Vedas and spread them in all around the world. Vyasdev also compiled Mahabharata, for the benefit of everyone. He also compiled Mahabharata. But chapter number 4 ends with is dissatisfied. Mahabharata लिखा, पूरा compile किया, 1 Vedas मध्ये 4 Vedas divide किया. He taught all this to his disciples, his students. He made them the teacher and told them to spread all around the world. But still he was dissatisfied. He was despondent. इतना कुछ करने के बाद भी he said there is something missing in this literature world. Something is missing. What is that? And he was thinking in his mind, he was not satisfied. He was thinking and he was contemplating that maybe I have not mentioned sufficiently about devotional service. I have not glorified Lord enough in this all these scriptures, and maybe I have not glorified devotional service enough, and maybe because of that I am dissatisfied. ऐसा Vyasdev was thinking. ठीक है, and that's where chapter number 4 ends. And he is thinking. ठीक है. So the questions asked by sages to Sutta Goswami. The last one was, where did Dharma took the center was Srimad Bhagavatam. So how did that Bhagavatam came? So the chapter number 4 is mentioning about the Vyasdev's meditation, dividing into 4, and then he was still dissatisfied. ठीक है? Are you all with me? The flow? कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहे हैं? Thank you so much. Learning point, Prabhuji is done. Kranti Prabhu raising hand. Yes.
In the life, dissatisfaction is not the failure, but to look for something higher.
Sorry, I missed that.
In the life, dissatisfaction is not for the failure, but to look for something higher.
Yes, dissatisfaction is not a failure. It's the time to look further. अभी आगे क्या? Remember I said the story of the person who created WhatsApp. He went for an interview in Facebook, failed the interview, didn't get the job. He went for Instagram. He went to Google, didn't get a job. Failure, 1, 2, 3, failure, didn't get a job. He goes on the social media and writes, failure, I didn't get a job. What he did? He created WhatsApp and sold the WhatsApp to same Facebook owner for $13 billion US. So, when there is a failure, dissatisfaction, it's the opportunity to grow further, not to look down, but to grow further. We learn from this. Practical application, we can all relate. Mataji, when Prabhu is trying sabji, jal gaya, अच्छे से नहीं बना, try again, don't give up. मैं तो नहीं बनाऊंगी, आप try करो. So when Vyasdev was dissatisfied and contemplating, what happened at the end of the 4th chapter? Who we can see? Narad Muni appears. Narad Muni just appears, and that's at the hermitage of Vyasdev. When he was thinking, and Narad Muni appears, and that's what chapter number 4 ends. ठीक है? Clear so far? अभी क्या होगा आगे? Who can guess? What will happen? Vyasdev is dissatisfied. Narad Muni is just appearing. You can see in the photo. What will happen next?
For the guidance.
Huh? Narad Muni and Narad Muni will give instruction to Vyasdev on Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So, what happens? Narad Muni, when he comes, he enters the ashram of Vyasdev. He knew exactly well why Vyasdev was dissatisfied. Narad Muni knows what is happening, what is in his mind, what he has done. उनको सब पता था. He knew the cause of dissatisfaction as well. Yogesh Prabhu, can you please request for the kids just distracting me? If you can maybe keep them out or close the door. I'm not able to focus, sorry. Our first session is up to 12:30, right? अभी तो 4 चैप्टर हुआ है. 12:45 तक करेंगे? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.